everyone, this is Anna from Koala Soap, and today I'm going to make an embed soap using crystal clear melt and pour and shea butter melt and pour. Each of these, and I'm going to be using this mold here. Each of these has about 2 to 2.5 ounces in it, and I think it might be a little bit too much, but what I'll do is anything I have left over I'll just go ahead and use for the next soap. I'm going to be using a violet purple from Stardust Micas, Poppin' Pink, which is a neon, but we're going to use it in shea butter, so hopefully it'll tone it down a little bit. And then I got this from Brambleberry a very long time ago, to where I can't even read what the name was, so it's going to be a blue. And that's how we're going to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and get these melted down, and then we'll go ahead and get started. So this is melted down. I decided I'm only going to do one color at a time because I really don't know how much soap this is going to take. So I'm going to melt this down first, mix our color, and then we'll keep going until we have enough. I'm going to only try to do maybe thirds, but I honestly don't know how much I'm going to need. I'm going to go ahead. I have 91% alcohol in this. I only used like the higher percentages, and it's all I have right now. The higher percentage is when I'm trying to adhere layers, and that's when you'll see me using like a higher percentage of alcohol. So links to everything I'm using are in the bottom. I think I'm going to do the blue first, so we'll go ahead and mix this, and let's see how it goes. I'm trying to just do a third of each, but I don't know if that's going to work or not. We'll see. Well, looks like it might be enough. I'm not sure. Yeah, that looks like it's enough. Okay. So we'll go ahead. I'm not going to put any scent into this right now, and the reason is these are the embeds that are going to be in the soap, and I can't put scent into the crystal clear either because it'll make it cloudy. So my plan is to just put a little bit of scent on the bottom of the soap, and you'll see what I mean when we do it. Okay, so what I recommend everyone get is one of these spatulas that has a removable part here, if you can find it. This says, looks like Betty Crocker, but it's very old. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and we're going to pour. And I don't know, about a third is probably around here. And again, I only did about 2 to 2.5 on all of these, so hopefully I'll get enough. Get every little piece out. And the reason I take this off is then I can kind of squeegee and try to fill up all these little squares that aren't quite full before it sets. And I have a few that are not going to be full, but that's okay. I honestly don't think we're going to use all of this anyway. So obviously, as you can see, I'm going to have room to do my next color, which I'll go ahead and do. So I'm going to go ahead and warm up the next color. I think the next one will be the pink, and I'm going to try to go very easy on that pink so it's not too loud. Neons in shea butter are still pretty out there. So let's go ahead and melt down the next one, and I'll be right back. Melt it down. I really don't take a temperature here because I'm not putting scent in, so it really doesn't matter, but just for fun, it looks like it's about 163. So we're going to go ahead. I have a little bit of alcohol into this bath bomb mold, and we will go ahead and add a little bit of pink. I want to try to keep this as pastel as possible. Let's see, I don't know if you can see how bright this is, so I don't know. That's enough. So I mean, I didn't put a lot in that at all. Just, geez, that was almost a disaster. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this in. It's not bad. I was kind of worried it would be a lot darker. Okay, so we'll go ahead and mix that up, as you can see. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to, I guess we'll just do the other half of this. And then we'll come back and we'll do our purple last. We'll probably just have to do the purple separately completely. Let's see how much of this we can fill up. We're going to go ahead and wait for this to set, then we'll unmold them, and then we will do our purple in shea butter melt and pour. The reason we'll squirt them with alcohol in case there's any tiny air bubbles, which I'm not sure it's going to matter with our soap because I don't see any air bubbles here, and once we put it in here I don't think you're going to notice it anyway. I'm going to do this last, and I don't usually put this in the refrigerator. I know some people like to do it, but for some reason for me, what I found is when I take it out of the refrigerator, it sweats a little bit when I try to put it in a clear. So it kind of, I don't know, it just, for some reason it just doesn't work with me. So it might be the brand. I'm using Crafter's Choice, which I love and I use for everything. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait for this to go ahead and set. We will unmold it, and then we're going to do our purple. Okay, so we'll be back shortly. These are now done. I'm going to go ahead and break them apart and just put them in this little glass bowl. And then we'll do the purple. I have way too many embeds, I'm sure. That's okay. Like I said, we'll be using it in another soap, so whatever we have here. So right now it looks like we have baby colors. And that's why I kind of want to add the purple in there. I just like pastels. The pink came out, oops, lost one. The pink came out great. It's not too loud for me. I have to be really careful with the neon, especially that neon pink, because it can be really something. Okay, so let's see. The puppies are with their father right now, so I don't have to worry about them eating that piece of soap that just fell. I'll get that after I mix the purple. And again, as you can see, some of these squares aren't perfect because some weren't full all the way, and that's okay for this soap. We have more than enough embeds for what we're going to do. So we're going to do the purple, unmold that, and then we will get on to the fun part. So I'm going to set these aside. I'm going to wash off this mold. Well, I guess I really don't need to because it's all set. So no, I think I will not wash it off. There's no scent in there or anything like that. Just a few more. All right, so what I've done is I've melted down the last 2 to 2.5 ounces of shea butter melt and pour soap. I put a little bit of alcohol into this last bath bomb mold. I'm taking out my purple. I'm going to add that into there. And we'll stir that up with a little alcohol. And then we'll put it in there, and we're going to squirt this with alcohol so we try to get every last drop. And set it off to the side. I only plan on making a couple of bars, so we're going to have a lot of extra. Like I said, we're going to be doing another soap, so I'm going to figure out what we can do with these embeds. So we're going to go ahead and do this and get ready to go. I'm just going to pour this in the middle of the mold. I don't have to be so careful now. And you really do want a spatula that's really kind of rubbery and flexible. If it's too rigid, you're not going to be able to like put it into these little crevices easy. We're going to let this set. We're going to clean everything up, and then we'll be back for our next step. These are now done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put these in this bowl too. I pulled out some of them that weren't, like they were really little. I mean, they were very obviously little. So we're going to pull these out, at least the ones I know I'm going to use. There's a couple here that I'm not going to use because they're just pieces that went into the mold. I have way too many embeds for the project I was going to do. So instead of 2 ounces, if you're going to do this project, these soaps are staying at home. Also, just so you guys know, this one's not leaving just because I don't know how it's going to turn out. If it turns out great, then I'll make more that way. But I just kind of need to make sure that this design works. Okay, we have the last. There's a few more over here. And these are just kind of little halvesies, so I'm just going to take the ones I know I can use and put these all aside. And we'll put those in our little scrap thing later. So now what I'm going to do is, we've used this mold before, and we know it holds 3 ounces of melt and pour soap. And what my plan is, I just kind of want to see, I'm going to mix these up a little bit, which might be hard to do in such a small bowl, but I kind of want to get an idea of how many of these I can put in here, because this will be just an embed soap. So I think that's what we're going to do. It's easier to mix them up too when there's less in there. I think I will do at least 3 of these since I have so much. And what's important about this is you want the soap to lie flat. You don't want anything poking out. That's probably what I'm not going to do there. I think we'll do that. The next step is to take our crystal clear melt and pour and very slowly melt it down. And then we're going to pour it very slowly on top of the soap. If you're not sure if it's sticking out or not, take the stick part of this and run it through. And if it's hitting anything, take it out. And now's the chance, like if you have 2 purples that are sticking together and you want to put a pink in there, that's fine. If you just see, like I have 4 purples here, it's not going to be perfect, but make sure it's just flat because you want the back to be flat. Okay, we're going to go ahead, we're going to get our crystal clear melt and pour out. I guess I'm going to do about maybe 2 ounces, and I'm thinking we're going to do 3 for sure, but yeah, we'll do 3 ounces. Melt the crystal clear melt and pour soap very slowly. So 10-second increments in the microwave, because if you burn it or you scorch it, it kind of loses some of its clarity. You also want to make sure that these are at least at room temperature and they're still not warm from being in the mold, because what will happen is they'll kind of ooze out once the warmer melt and pour hits it. We're also going to try not to pour until we're under 130 degrees. We're going to go ahead and get our crystal clear melt and pour out. We'll melt it down and we will be back. We are now at 139. I haven't done anything to this but stir it to try to keep it from developing a skin. I have 3 ounces of the crystal clear melt and pour melted in here, and I am going to need more, but I really melted it slowly. And right now we are at 135. So I'm happy to pour right now. I'm going to go ahead and do this first one. We're going to squirt it with a really good amount of alcohol though, because we want it to adhere. Try to get it all the way in there. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to pour slowly. And now we know that this is 3. And that might be just enough. I'm not sure yet. Okay. A little bit, I poured a little bit too much. That's okay. So we're going to go ahead, we'll squirt this with alcohol. We're just going to let it sit. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to melt down. I guess I went a little over here. You can't see it because it's, I guess I'll just push it off over here to the end. This is something we'll have to cut off later. That's okay. It's hard to see. I have my glasses on too, and an extra light. It's still hard for me to see this. Okay, this is good though, because you know we can just get a vegetable peeler out and do that. I'm going to go ahead and get about 5 more ounces. Let's see what we're going to do here. What do we have in here now? We have 2.3. So we have about 1 ounce in here right now. Okay, so we're going to get about 4 more ounces in there. We're going to melt it down very, very slowly. I don't even want to really remelt this, but I will. This will be our, we'll know. We'll just watch this and see. So I'll go ahead and melt that back, and we have our 5 ounces here. There's one little piece in there. I don't want to keep heating it up. This took 20 seconds to melt down completely. I just don't want it, I want it to stay as clear as possible. All right, we are now at 140. So we're about ready. So we're going to go ahead and squirt these down. Again, I'm not wearing gloves because these are staying at home. Like I said, I'm completely out of soap. That's just never happened. I guess I've been gone way too long. Usually what I can do, a cool trick, would be to squirt a little bit of alcohol in here too, and it will cool it down. But I don't want to mess with the clarity. We're at 138. Let's pour slowly. Let's hope I have enough, because what I don't want to do is pour in here and then have to re-pour, remelt, re-pour, because then I will see. I'm hoping I wouldn't see a seam, but knowing me, I would see a seam. I'm trying to be a little bit more careful with this soap so I don't over pour. I think I'm at the lip. We'll squirt it with alcohol to get rid of those bubbles. A little bit of a skin trying to develop here. I think I'm going to have just enough. And we're right at the lip. Oh, almost perfect. I think I have about 1 ounce left over. It's okay. We'll use it for something. Now we're just going to wait. Because these are in a real small mold here, this will probably take about an hour to set. I'm not going to put it in the refrigerator. I'm just going to kind of let it set on its own and see how it goes. This one, I'm going to show you how I clean it up, because it's definitely going to need to be cleaned up. So we'll see you in about an hour. Let's go ahead and unmold and see how it looks. I actually really like this mold. I like how it rounds the corners. So as you can see, maybe you can't, but there's a lip here. So you can either take a little vegetable peeler and it comes right off, or you can work it off, just peel it off. I'm going to have to do both. I'm probably not on camera because that's where I'm going to mess stuff up. But there. What do you think? And that was just because we over poured, so there's soap all along here, just because I really over poured it. And here's our other one. I have this other light here. I'm wondering if I turn it off. Maybe that might be a little bit better for you. And then here is, yes, that light, a little bit too much. There's that. There we go. Now, I said I didn't add any scent to it, but it still smells like soap. I mean, it's all I smell right now is soap. I love the embeds. I love the clarity. It looks great. And it's a fun soap for kids especially. This will be going and staying here at the house. And basically to clean this up, I just grab, you could get this kind or you could get the vegetable peeler. I just kind of peel some of it off, and then what I want to clean up, I'll just kind of go around like the edge here and just clean it up. But this mold's actually really nice because it has this, it's a nice finished look. So this is Anna from Koala Soap, and thanks for watching.